Alright, so this is my forge. I had the frame made at the weld shop. I didn't have the room to make my own, so I had somebody weld it up. Anyhow, but I went ahead and put all the plumbing to it, and my brother-in-law wired the motor and the electrical cord, and I wired up the rheostat, which is this piece right here, which I used the ceiling fan rheostat to adjust the fan speed. I had to make this because I do this outside. The wind was blowing and would blow the steel cool and kind of forced the coal to burn a little bit faster than I wanted. So I went ahead and made this out of stainless. The next one I make, I'm going to make it out of, well, it'll be stainless also, but I'm going to make it round and have it be taller a little by about a foot, and have it come up in a slight cone. And then I'll have a main door, and then on the back side there'll be a little trap door for when I'm running a long bar through here. So as you see, I have a 4-inch slot cut here. There's also one on the back side, and this allows me to take a longer piece of steel and heat it up in my forge. Now the firebox is oh, what is it? I want to say it's 13 by 9.5, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I did put it on wheels so that I can roll it around. The front wheels are caster style, so they'll rotate, and the back wheels, of course, are solid, and literally they're air tubeless tires. These ones are, they have tubes in them, which kind of makes it a little bit of a pain in the ass if the one's low or something like that. But the tires are big enough, or the wheels are big enough, that I can roll it around pretty easy even out here on the gravel. My blower is a 110 volt Dayton blower, and it's relatively quiet. I mean, not super quiet, but quiet enough. It's one of the reasons why I don't really particularly like gas forges, is because they're really loud. So, and then here, this is my ash dump. As the fuel burns, the ash falls into the bottom. You hit this ball. I usually use my fire poker that's over there. Hit the ball, the ash falls out. My clinker breaker is right here, this L-shaped piece of metal. There is a cast iron piece of metal that's attached to that. It's shaped somewhat in a triangle so that when it rotates up, the point will push up on the clinker, which is burnt fuel. The impurities of the burnt fuel forms a raw glass in the bottom of my fire pot. When that happens, it breaks that up, drops down into here. I hit the ball, that crap falls out, and the air flows pretty good. So I'll come back over here. Now, basically what I did was, this is a dryer vent tubing. I manufactured the flange. There's a piece of there's a triangle shaped piece that I made out of this tin metal, which is riveted together here. The banded clamp is to help hold this onto the flange. I also made a flange here to attach this, the dryer tube. Now, I think what I should have done, and then when I get to my house in Alaska, what I'll probably do is pull this all apart and redo it, but shorten this up so that the air actually just it just comes in here, maybe comes around and into this instead of having this long thing, which I believe probably lessens my airflow. But my forge works really good, so there's really no reason for me to do that, or no incentive for me to do that at the moment. But this is my forge. So it's 36 inches tall from there to the corner. It's 32.5 inches wide from there to there. And it is 42 inches deep from there to there. This box is 24 inches tall, and it's 32 inches wide by 38, I think, long is what the final dimension is. And of course, it's a 6-inch stovepipe that comes out. Again, when I make the box again, it's going to be round. I'll have maybe a 10 or 12 inch piece of pipe that comes out of the top, but it'll be more towards the back. That way I can go ahead and get the smoke, keep the smoke from coming out this too much. It does come out of here a little bit, but I don't care really. But that's my forge. My anvil, this is a 135 pound JHM Farrier's anvil that I use. I've had it since '94. It's a lot better looking now than when I got out of the Army. When I got out of the Army, I'd had it in storage. It was pretty rusty. I went ahead and cleaned it up. The anvil stand is one that I made back in '94. I bought it from my granddad's shop, but I'm the one that made this. And how I determined it, the height for it to sit, it's a little bit rough, but you want so that your knuckles touch the top of the face of the anvil. This one's still a little bit, it's still a little bit too tall, and I'd like it to be like another inch lower. But also where I stand and work has kind of wallowed out a little bit, and the anvil sits a little bit taller than what it should, is what I'm trying to say. And as you can see, it's got a couple of nicks in it where I got frustrated, pissed off, and I hit it with my hammer. Rule number 1 is tool steel against tool steel is a no-no, so your hammer face against your anvil face is a no-no. And when that happens, especially in a weak, well, not a weak, but in a thinner area, you're going to end up damaging the face. And whatever you do to the anvil face transfers to your work. So if it's full of pits and shit like that, that will be transferred to your work. I usually take, if this gets too wet and it doesn't dry off at night inside my trailer, the following morning I'll take a piece of emery cloth and I'll just clean the rust off. If the air is really moist, like it is in the wintertime here, what I'll do is when I put it away, I'll wipe it down with the oily rag, and that kind of helps keep the rust from forming on the face. And yeah, so far this is my setup. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, pass it around, share, please. I will get into doing more videos. I'll do some how-to, mostly how I do things. It's not how things should be done. It's just how I do them. It's my variant of what I was taught by my grandfather. That's all there is to it. All right. Well, till we form again, and I'll see you on the high ground.